Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So basically now today we are going to make a Python project, and in that project basically we are going to make a GUI dictionary app. That will be a dictionary app that you can just use to find out any word of any meaning, right? Any like basically let's say you are having a word and you just need to find out the meaning of that particular word. So no need to just go on to Google or just open your hands-on dictionary and all those things. Just open this app which you are just gonna make the GUI dictionary app, and just you will be able to find out the meaning of that word. And if you have written any wrong spelling of a word, so that will actually correct the spelling of the word and then even tell you the correct meaning of that particular word. So it will be having all of these features into this. And as it a GUI app, so basically that will be having many more interesting and many more good looks and good features as well, right? So let's get started with the things. I would be letting you know all the things between the project itself. So here I am on my Sublime Text Editor, and basically we'll be writing out this project on the Sublime Text Editor, right? So as I mentioned two or three times from the starting that it is a GUI app. So for that we always need a tkinter library in the Python programming that basically helps us to make the and apply the GUI features, right? So in that case, first of all, my very first thing will be that I'll be importing my tkinter library, and from that basically I'll be importing everything. So let me just write on that thing here. So I'll be writing from tkinter import asterisk. Now what does this very first line mean that I've actually written here? This means that from my tkinter library, the library which I am having, from that I am just importing asterisk. Import asterisk means to import each and every function, each and everything, each and every module, whichever you are having in the tkinter window. Okay, so it means to import each and everything, right? Now, this next line I'd be importing the PIL library so as to like put on some images into that dictionary app as well, right? I just want to put out some image as well. So in that case, I'd be importing the PIL library. Okay, I'd be writing here from PIL. Okay, from PIL import, and first of all I'd be importing the image. Image is one function which we have in this PIL library, and other than this I'd be importing image, and that would be TK like this. Okay, that is TK. Fine. These are the two functions that I'll be importing from my PIL library. Very first thing which I imported was tkinter library, and from that tkinter I imported each and every functions whichever we are having here, right? Other than that, basically I have taken this PIL library, right? That from this PIL library I need to import the image and the image TK as well, right? These are the two functions which comes under this PIL library. The very third thing that I'm just going to import is my JSON modules. Basically I'd be taking a JSON data, and that I'd be attaching with that GUI dictionary app that we're making, and that will basically resulting as the meaning of any particular word whichever you're just like searching or trying to get, right? So all of those things will be done with the help of the JSON data. It is basically one type of data, like we have TXT files, like we have PDFs and all those things we have, right? And so in that case basically this JSON is also one type of the files which we actually have, right? Now, basically, and other than that, I'll be importing from that is one another library that I'll be using, that is DIFFLIB. Now, this library actually what will be it doing? So, as I mentioned in the very starting, that let's say you have taken a particular word, right? And in that particular word, let's say you have made some spelling mistake. So when you be just getting the output of that, the meaning of that particular word, so it will firstly let you know the correct spelling of that word, right? And then it will tell you the correct meaning, right? So all of these functions will be performed with the help of this DIFFLIB library. In this basically we have one function. Okay, so I'll be importing out that function that is get underscore get underscore close underscore matches. This is the name of the function which I was just talking about. That will be basically helping us in getting out the correct spelling of that data, and then the incorrect spelling of that word, and after that will be getting us the correct meaning of that word, right? So this get close matches will actually help us to do that, do this, and it basically comes under the DIFFLIB library. So I just imported that. Right, so these are all the four things which we'll be needing in making our project for today. That is basically the GUI dictionary app. Right now, basically what I'll be just doing is that I'll be defining the tkinter window and just giving it the title and all those things. Right. Let's say here I just took root. Okay, root is equal to tk, and I'm just putting out the brackets here. So this is okay, just like this, capital T and then k. Root is equal to tk. So root is one of the variables in which I'm storing my tkinter library. This t, small t and sorry, capital T and small k. This actually refers to my tkinter library that we are having here. Okay, that we'll be using for making out this tkinter library. Okay, so this is tkinter window actually, right? So root is the variable in which I have stored my tkinter window. Other than that, I'll be again using that root dot. Now I just want to give a title to my window which I am having, right? So in that case, I would be writing root dot title in the bracket. I would be writing here, let's say the title for my window would be my own, and that would be, let's say, dictionary, right? Let's say this is the name for that particular title which I just want to give. And at last, basically, let me just write that root dot main loop, and even just close this right here. Fine. Basically, I've just declared my tkinter window. I have given a particular title to this. Now, basically, what I'll be just doing is that I would not be giving that a particular size or something. I would not be defining a size because I would be putting one image on my tkinter window. So this tkinter window will actually be taking that much of dimensions which my image would be having. Okay, so I would not be defining any particular dimensions here. What I just want is that on my whole tkinter window, my whole image should come, right? That I'll be defining here. So in that case, basically, I would not be define any dimension. I would simply take that image, define that image, put that image, and my tkinter window will be covering all of the dimensions which that image will be having, right? So I will be just defining that thing here. So okay, I would be taking here the let's say my variable that is image. Okay, image is equal to, and for that I'll be using this image function which we have, image dot, and I'll be writing here open. Now what is the name for my image that I am having? That is dict.png. I had already saved one image in my Sublime Text folder. Okay, just one more thing to mention here, very important, that basically the image which you'll be taking, just make sure to save that image into that particular folder where your file is saved in which you're writing this code. Okay, do not just take different parts in your like desktop. Okay, just save this image on that particular folder, on that particular path, on that particular place where you have saved your file, this file, Sublime Text Editor file, in which you are writing your code. Okay, if it is not going to do that, it will be resulting you the error, right? Now other than this, basically I'll be writing here that image, another variable would be image underscore, and that would be picture, image underscore picture, like this, right? Image underscore picture. In that, basically now I'll be using that image tk which I have just imported above, right? So image tk dot. Now I'll be using a function that is basically photo image, like this. Okay, and I'll be putting out the bracket here. And in this photo image function, what I'll be just doing is that I'll be passing out the name for the variable in which I have stored my image, which I want to display on the tkinter window. So in that case, the image is the variable in which I have stored my image, which I just want to declare on the and display on the tkinter window, right? So in that case, I just taken it like here. Fine. Now what I'll be doing is that I'll be taking one another variable, and I'll be just giving the like basically at basically what place I just want this image to come, right? So I'll be giving the, let's say, desc underscore pic. That is basically destination underscore picture, right? So short form for that. So in this case, basically, I'll be first of all using my label function which we have in the tkinter window, and that is basically used for putting some image or putting something on the tkinter window. Now, label in the bracket, I'll be writing here the variable in which I have stored my tkinter window for the very first. That is basically root, right? Now, why I'm just writing that? Because what I just want is that the image which I'll be displaying, that should come onto the tkinter window, right? Just do not want that anywhere on the desktop that image should be displayed, right? I have just given a particular variable. I've made my tkinter window, and I just want that image to cover my tkinter window. So in that case, basically, I'm just giving this root here because root is the variable in which I have stored my tkinter window. Right, so root is equal to, and after that I'll be using the image function, image like this here, image parameter, and then this I'll be giving the image underscore picture variable. Okay, and I'm just coming down, and here I'll be using desc underscore pic dot Pack means to apply all these like all this image, whatever I just written, apply all these things onto my Tkinter window. Right now, basically, what I'll be just doing is that I'll be saving out my project here for a while. That is Control plus S. And whenever you just make any changes or write any new code into the file which you're just like writing, you just add anything or to like basically delete anything, all those functions if you're just performing. So make sure that you just save your file once. That is Control plus S. Okay. Now just go on to your PowerShell window and okay, just let me quickly clear out each and everything, whatever I have just written here, right here. Now basically I'll be just running my project and let's see that basically what just comes here. So I'm writing Python and that would, what is the name? My name is new dictionary. Okay, Python new, and that is DICTIO dictionary dot py, like this. Hit enter. Basically now you're able to see that this image is actually coming, which I have already taken to display, and all the things to come onto my like Tkinter windows. This was the image which I have already put in, and in that between the dictionary app was actually written, right? This was the whole image actually which I had already taken. Now you're able to see that this is a Tkinter window, right? This is my one of the Tkinter windows which I have here, and it is basically of, we haven't mentioned any size, so it has automatically taken the size of the image which I have taken. So this image is actually having the size of 1920 cross 1080. Okay, if you just want to like cover the full screen of your image, so in that case basically you can just use how that is 1920 cross 1080 pixels. Okay, and here you are able to see the title, that is my own dictionary. Right now, just let me quickly close out this window and let's proceed further with writing of the, and now basically first of all I would not attach the JSON file. The very first thing that I'll be doing is that I'll be making different columns where basically at what place I need to write the words, and at what place I'll be giving the like getting the output, and I need to make a button for the search as well. Right now all these things will be done. First of all, I'll be giving all the enhancements to my, all the parameters to my like program, and after that I'll be like putting out the JSON file here. Okay, right here. So basically the very first thing that I'll be doing is that I'll be writing like I would be taking a variable in which I'll be storing the string variable. Okay, so let's say that is a1. Okay, a1 is equal to, and that is a string, and I'll be writing here string var, var, and then the bracket like this. Okay, this will basically search out and give me the string variable. Right now basically we are just gonna enter the strings into that dictionary app, right? We just want to find any word, so that is a string, right? So in that case I'm just taking this string var input. Right now, okay, let me just make it to a as well, not a1. Let me make it to a. Right now basically I'd be writing here a1, let's say one of my variables which I'm just taking, and in that I would be using here the function that is entry. Now this entry will actually help us to write something on the block, or basically write something on the like rectangle, or what a box you are actually trying to make, right? This will basically help us to do that thing. So here first of all I'll be passing out the root in which I have just saved out my Tkinter window, the root. Now after that I'll be writing here text variable. This is actually okay, variable, right? This is actually one a parameter which we have, and in this basically I'll be passing out that that variable name in which I have stored my string var. Okay, that is a. Basically here text variable actually means that basically what type of text actually you are gonna take, right? So we are going to take the string variables. So in that basically that thing I have stored in the variable which is a, right? So I just need to pass out that thing here. Fine, that is done. Now I just want the background to come, background. Now basically what I'm just making right now, I am actually making a box. I'm just making a rectangular box that will basically on that the like the basically the meaning of my word will be coming, right? I'm just first of all making that box. Okay, let me just do one thing. Let me just change this name to okay, word underscore meaning. Okay, let me just change it to this. Now it's absolutely fine. It will be basically storing the meaning of my word. In that box basically I'd be able to see the meaning of my word, right? So I would try to make this background as blue. Okay, now background is blue, right? Now what about the font FG, that is FG my foreground color, that is basically that what font color actually I just want to give here, right? Now font color actually I just want to give here, let's say white, because on blue white is the most visible color that is actually applied, right? That is given. I would put one comma here. Now basically After this, basically what I just want, I would be, okay, I would be writing here the font, right? I would be writing here font is equal to, and in the bracket, that basically what font I want. I want the font to be in Arial, the size should be 40, and yes, it should be bold, right? These are the features which I just want here to be in the font. So that I have written. Fine. Now basically I'll be writing word underscore meaning. Now basically I'll be giving the values that at what place basically I just want it to come. Okay, word underscore meaning. Yes, dot. I'll be using the place function, place, right, and the brackets. Now here I'll be giving some x, some y, some width, and some height of the rectangle which I just wanted to appear on the screen, right? So the function is basically relx. Okay, that is the function in which basically you'll be giving the x values. So in this basically you will be giving out the values in the points. Okay, let's say my value of x is 0.185, real y. Now this is, let's say, 0.70. I'll be writing the width and the height as well. So rel, and that is width. Okay, first of all, yes, width, width, and that is basically, let's say, 0.63. Okay, and that would be rel height, height, right? And let's say height is 0.08. Right, let's say these are the features which I have just applied there. Fine. Basically I'll be saving this, that is control plus s, and now I'll be just going on to that PowerShell window once again, and I will be running it here. So let's have a look that basically I had made one of my boxes here. Now in this box actually I would not be I would not be like writing that meaning of the word. I'll be writing my word here. I just want my word to appear here. Okay, so in that case I have just given this blue color, a rectangular block box here. In this I'll be writing out my word. Now just have a look that I'm able to write anything, right? So this is the whole idea of this thing. Okay, I would just close out this window here for a while. Now basically this thing is done. So okay, in this I'll be writing only and only word. Let me just remove this and take it to word like this. Okay, that is okay, word underscore one, and here also word underscore one. Fine, this is done. Now basically next thing comes, I'll be making out a button for the search. Now I just want a button here, that in that basically it should be written search the word. So as soon as I just click on that button, so I should get out the meaning for the word which I have entered, right? So in that case basically now I'll be writing here button. So in that case I'll be writing using a variable that is button underscore one. Okay, now here I'll be using the function that is button. I would not be using the entry because I want a button to appear here. Okay, so button is a function which helps us to do that thing. So I'll be writing out the variable that where I just want it, so that is the root. Right, now what should the text onto that? So text which I just want is search the word. This is the text actually which I just want. Okay, now what command it will actually follow? So command which it will actually follow is, I'll be writing here lambda. I'll be putting a colon here. After that I'll be writing lambda search. Okay, search is actually one function which we have. Okay, and in this I'll be writing out the variable which I have stored my that what type of input I'll be taking. So I'll be taking the string variable input, right, and that I have stored in my variable that is a. So I'll be writing that here. So a dot, I'll be using one function that is get, right? This is basically how we'll be adding out the command into this. After this basically I want to give some background color, right? So my background color would be, let's say I would just give it as red. Okay, red is the background color which I just want to give. After that comes my FG color. So FG color would be, let's say, white, that I just want to get here, right? Now after that basically I would be giving out the font as well. So font is equal to, put the brackets here, and now I'll be just giving, let's say I'll be keeping my font same which I had taken previously. I would be let's say 40 is the size, and I even want it to be bold. Okay, I just do not want it to bold. Let's say I just want it to be italic, right? Let's say this is, let's apply this filter, and after this I would be just giving it a particular dimension, that at what place do I just want. So that will be button underscore one dot, and it would be placed, right? I'll be putting out the bracket, and I'd be writing a rel x is equal to 0.25. Let's say x, like basically the value for the x would be 0.25. Now for y, basically for y it would be, let's say, 0.85. Now basically here I'm just giving the values in point because I have taken their relx values. If you simply take the x and the simply y values, then you need to give in the terms of you want 20 or 40 or 50, like this you need to give. So I'm just taking real x. In that case, basically I'm just writing here the point values. After that, it is width. So real width, right? So the width will be, let's say, 0.50 I just want. Okay, and what with the height? So that is real height, real height, and that would be, let's say, is 0.052, let's say. Okay, these are the values which I just want. So I would be doing here control plus S for one time, that is saving this, and I would be going to my PowerShell window and running it once again. Just have a look that here I just got it, that is search the word, and I hit enter, so it is basically working, right? But what I'll be just doing is that I'll be first of all closing this thing and I'll be making it bold, because in italic it's not looking that much thing, right? Okay, so previous error actually came because we haven't given any word here, so that is why it was giving me that previous name error or something like that. Okay, so as soon as you just give out the things, it will basically not give you any error. So it is bold here, right? So bold is done, and I would be writing here 0. Okay, just one second, and I will be removing out the 0 from here. That is control plus S. Okay, just one second. That is control plus S once again, and I'll be going on to the PowerShell window again, running it right here. Okay, so okay, just one second, give me 1 minute time. It is 0. Fine, control plus S once again, and now I'll be just okay, I had just closed that. Let me just quickly open that thing from here. So this is the window, and here goes the shift plus right click right here, and basically it goes like this. Fine, so this is basically how it is coming to us. That is basically search the word. Fine, now I would just close this thing. Let me just close that out, and basically I haven't given any words, so in that case it is telling me that search is not defined. Okay, I just need to make that function above, and then we'll be just doing out the other things, right? Now this function is also done. My button is also made. Now we are left with only one thing to make, and that is basically the box in which we'll be getting the meaning of that particular word which we are entering. Okay, so in that case I'd be writing here, okay, text word underscore one is there. I would be writing here meaning underscore word. Okay, that will be equal to, now I'll be just using here the text function. Okay, because in that basically something will be coming as an output. We will not be writing anything, the output will be coming onto that, right? So in that case I just need to use out this text here. Okay, so text, okay, this text is done. After that comes my root. So after root, basically what I'll be just adding is that I'll be writing on my background color. Okay, so that is my background. Now what background color actually I want my white background color to come, comma, what about my FG color? So I want my FG color to be, let's say black. Okay, now I'll again put a comma, what font actually I want. So font is equal to, I'll be putting out the bracket and writing here, first of all I want it to be Arial. Okay, after that the size should be 20. Okay, let's from 20 let's make it to 25, and after that I just want it to be bold as well. Okay, so these are the things which I just want, and where to place this, basically what are the dimensions where I would just write it. So I'm writing here place, and in the bracket I'll be giving the values. So basically my rel x value will be, let's say, 0.200, and I will be adding as well rel y value as well. So rel y is let's say 0.05. I'll be giving the rel width. So okay, rel width is, let's say, the width which I just want to give is, let's say, 0.63. Okay, and basically what about the rel height? So height which I just want to give is, let's say, 0.16. Right, let's say these are the things which I just want to give, and I would again do control plus S. That will basically save out this thing for me, and now I would just run it once again. So basically now you are able to see one box here, and that is basically appearing, right? Now as soon as I write out the word here, that word, I would just click on the search word, and here I'll be getting the answer and the meaning of that particular word, right? So this is the whole idea. Now I'm just left with very last thing, and that is basically attaching my JSON file here so that the functions can go up to their work, right? So now I'll be attaching my JSON file, that I'll be just doing above here. Fine. So the very first thing is that I'll be making a variable. Okay, so I'll be making data underscore load. Let's say this is the variable which I have just made, data underscore load, right? And in that basically I'll be loading out my JSON data. So JSON dot load, and in the bracket you need to write out the name for the JSON data which you are having. So for me it is data dot JSON. Right, I've just taken this data from some online website. So you can just search online for that and you'll be getting it, right? You can just easily get it. Or basically you're having any text file or something like that, you can just convert that into JSON as well on online, any online converter as well. You can just do that on your own. Fine. Now I'll be defining out a function, and that function would be def search underscore word. Okay. So search underscore word, and in the bracket I'd be giving here the variable that is word. Okay. So I would just come down here, and where I have just used out my lambda function. So instead of search, I'll be writing here search underscore word like this. Okay, this is the name for my function which I'm just making here. Fine. Just come above again. Now basically come inside this function, and now I'll be just writing out the things here. So let me just come inside. Fine. Firstly, I would be applying a condition that if word in data underscore load. Okay, if word in data underscore load, right? If this thing is true, then I'll be putting out one colon here and come down. Then I'll be using the variables actually which I had just made previously. Okay, so I'll be using out the variable in which I have just stored my, where I'll be just getting out the meaning, that is meaning underscore word, right? So I'll be just writing here if word in data underscore load, so that is basically here. Come on to the next line, and I'll be using meaning underscore word dot delete, and in bracket I'll be writing 1.0 comma, and here I'll be using end, right? So that is basically if you just want to enter any other value as well, so you can just do that thing while deleting that. Okay, so here the spelling would be delete, right? That is absolutely fine. Now basically I'll be using the configure function, and that will basically give me some things, right? Okay, so I'll be using here meaning underscore word dot config. Okay, that config is one of the functions, and in the bracket I'll be writing fg, that is basically fg is equal to white, right? Let me just come on to the next line. Again I'll be using that meaning underscore word dot, and now I'll be using here the insert function, and that basically I'll be writing here insert is equal to end comma, and now I'll be using the variable in which I have stored my JSON data, that is data underscore load, and in the bracket I'll be passing here word. So that will basically like search out the word for me which I will be searching in the if word in data underscore load. So it will basically give me the correct meaning of that particular word. Okay, if this is the satisfied condition, that if I just write in the correct spelling and correct words, so it will basically result me the meaning of that particular word. But if this is not the case, then I would apply here elif, and in that basically I would be writing elif. Now I'll be applying several conditions here. Elif length, and basically that would be get underscore close underscore matches. This function that we have imported above with the diff library, right? So here I'll be using out this thing. Okay, so if elif length of get close matches, first of all it will just search out that which length is actually matching this thing. Okay, that which length is actually matching here. So get underscore close underscore matches, and I would be writing here the word, okay, word comma, and in that case basically I'll be just giving here data underscore load, right? Data underscore load, the variable in which I have stored my JSON data, and I'll be searching out the keys. Now you all know that what are keys and what are values, right? That we have already discussed when we have discussed about the dictionary. So keys and dictionaries are keys and values are the two things which comes in the dictionary. So key is that part which is present at the left hand side of the colon, and value is the part which is present at the right hand side of the colon. So let's say you are having a word, and that is any word you are having, okay, and the word is present at the left hand side, and the meaning for that word is present on the right hand side. So that left hand side is your key. So we just need to find out the keys, right? We need to find out that which key is actually matching and getting the closing match to the word which you have entered, if you have just written any wrong spelling or something. So in that case we are writing this thing. Okay, then I'll be writing meaning underscore word dot config, and that would be is equal to, and okay, dot config in the bracket fg is equal to red. Okay, now I'll be just giving a color that is red. Fine. After that I'll be using again that meaning underscore word, and the bracket it is okay, dot, I'll be using my delete function, delete. Okay, that is like this. Fine. And in the bracket I'll be just passing out 1.0 comma n, that is the same which we have done above. Now I'll be just using meaning underscore word dot insert. Now, basically, what I just want is that I just want it to come in this way that basically your correct spelling is this, and did you mean this particular word? And after that, it should result me the like meaning of that particular word. Okay. So insert, I'll be writing here, and I'll be just using end. I'll be putting a comma here, end comma, the semicolons, and here I'll be writing that I'll be writing here. Let's say this were you finding were you finding, and I'm writing the bracket here. That bracket will give me the correct word for which I was finding. So basically, if I just written the correct like wrong spelling, so in that basically it will give me in this bracket that were you finding this, and with the correct spelling. Okay, and the meaning for this is, so I'll be writing and meaning is, and I'll be just putting out the colon here, and again I'll be putting out this bracket. So it will basically give me the meaning of this particular word. Right, this is the whole idea regarding this. I'll be putting a dot here, and after this I'll be using out my format function for, and that is mat. Okay, now inside the format basically I'll be using that is get underscore close underscore matches function, which we have used, right? And after again this I'll be putting the bracket, and here I'll be using that word which we have written above, word comma, and that will basically give me my data underscore load, the variable in which I've stored my data, and it will give me the keys, right? So it will be giving me the keys. So after this basically, now I'm just coming out of my first bracket. This keys was the first, and this after this bracket I'll be putting here, let's say this. Okay, now I'm just coming on to the next line because it's a very like large line and I just need to write all those things. So 0th index means that my key, nothing other than that. Okay, the 0 is actually referring to my key. So, and after this basically now I'll be writing again that data underscore load. Okay, and in the bracket I'll be using that get underscore close. Okay, data underscore this data load, and get underscore close underscore matches, and here I'll be putting out the brackets. Right, in that bracket I'll be just again writing out that word comma, and I'm just adding here data underscore load. Okay, data underscore load, and write dot here, and then the keys, right? So that will basically give me the keys for my data which I have actually loaded, right? And after this basically it will be writing out the 0th index here, that is basically my getting of the keys, right? And after all of these things I'll be just coming on to the next line basically, and here okay, just let me go to the another place first of all, right here. Okay, I'll be just coming out here, and I'll be writing one variable that is, let's say, final. Okay, let's say final is equal to, and in that case I'll be just again using that function that is get underscore close underscore matches, and in the bracket it would be word is the variable which we have like argument which we have passed, right? Word comma, and here I'll be using data underscore load and dot keys, and then the brackets like. Okay, so basically we had just completed out all the like things which we need to do and which imported data. Now it's the time for running out my program. So I would just do Control plus S here, and I would just go on to this Windows PowerShell and I would just run it here. Fine. Now basically it's running. It is asking me to enter the like word which I just want to search. So let's say I would be entering here enthusiastic. Okay, let's say this one. I'll just click on the search word. Okay, so let's go and see that what error actually I have just made out here. Search word in data. Okay, just one error, one thing here, that instead of this white, I need to give a particular color, that actually what color I just want. Actually, I've just given here this red as well. Right. So, okay, let me just come down and let's see that what we have given here inside this. Right here, meaning underscore word. So here we have given background will be white and FG will be black. Okay, let's remove this background from here. Okay, let's remove it out from here because above we had already mentioned that thing. Fine, I would just remove it out. Now I've just made that thing red. I would just now again do Control plus S. I will just close this output from here and go again to my Windows PowerShell. First of all, I would just clear each and everything. And now let me just zoom in and write out the thing here. Hint enter. Now let's say my word is again the same which I had taken, enthusiastic. Okay, now I just see SIAS like this. Okay, and I will just click on search the word. So basically it is giving me the meaning of that word, that is full of or categorized by enthusiasm. Right, this is the basically word which I am getting. Now basically if I just close this out and again run it once. Now if I just like want to find out here any particular word, let's say let's say I just write any spelling, that is let's say I just write absurd. Okay, that's not a particular word. The correct meaning for this word is absurd. Okay, I've just written any wrong like spelling here. So basically, see, here it is giving me were you finding absurd, and meaning is contrary to reason or propriety. Okay, that is basically the thing it is giving me. I just like wrote this thing to show you that basically if I'm just writing any wrong spelling, then it is correcting that spelling. It is saying me that okay, this is the word which you're finding out. If yes, then the meaning for this particular word is this, which I have just written here, right? So this is a wonderful app which you can actually use for finding out any word, any meaning of any word. If you just write out the correct spelling, so wrong spelling, it will give you the correct spelling and then the meaning as well. And if you just write out the right spelling, then it will give you the result as well. So this was a simple dictionary app which we can make. Now you can just add many more features into this. That is basically you can like apply many filters. That is basically search many words at a time. You can just apply start, stop. You can just give it some more features as well, which we have in the Tkinter window. Right, so this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.